I'm Sergeant Howard with the Genesee County Sheriff's Office. I have kind of a unique role where for the last 8+ years I've been assigned to Genesee Health System and deal with any type of mental health services that they have with Genesee County Sheriff's Office. We have a good partnership with Genesee Health System. I would say that every mass shooting there's somewhat of a mental health component, whether it's severe mental illness or depression. Um, they typically, have some idea that, that there's a part of some delusion or hallucination that they need to carry out some grand plan. And I would say that every mass shooting that there is definitely a mental health component to it. Usually if they know the person, it's if they've are not no longer keeping taking care of themselves, showering, bathing, eating, putting themselves into risky situations, um, going out in the middle of the night with doing things that are outside of their ordinary. um, a lot of the delusions too. They start talking about things that aren't, grounded in reality. That usually the family is going to be the first one to pick up on these signs. Usually when it falls, usually when it gets to a point where they would call 911 or something like that, it's when they're again, there's multiple reasons why when somebody can be petitioned to the hospital. That's what we look for in law enforcement. If they're if they're a danger to themselves or others, if they're if they have weapons and there's some concerns that they're not grounded in reality and that they're talking about the government or a lot of conspiracies when it's doesn't really fit how they normally would act. um, you know for instance, if it's really cold outside and they're not dressing appropriately, if they're not eating, these are usually concerns that family are going to have, that they're going to call 911, and that myself or anyone in law enforcement would intervene. There are a lot of resources through Genesee Health System that you can reach out to them through, specifically the behavioral health urgent care. It's for anyone, ages, as young as 2, 3 years old to anybody, and it can be anything that's, severe mental illness, depression, those sorts of things. But in terms of something that's serious, call 911. That's usually the best route to go. Yeah, so any critical incident that could be a mass shooting, that could be a death of a family member, that could be a lot of things that we go through on a day-to-day basis. One of the huge things that we have in this county that's great is through Genesee Health System. It's critical incident stress management. They have people that will come out usually within 24 hours of a critical incident. If it's a little bit smaller of an incident, maybe they'll kind of break it up, and over a couple days they'll talk about it. But they have a great service available to any Genesee County resident. We're all different. Everybody handles things differently. We may think that we're okay immediately after a critical incident, but sometimes it may not bother us for a few days. So I think reaching out, immediately, even if it's something that you don't feel in the moment that you're going to need help with, but it's something that I think we all are going to deal with differently. That it may take a little bit longer for some people.